When they're pumping those checks, she's like, "How's those stimmies coming? I want all those stimmies printed out and in the mail right now." This doesn't have the same ring as like the EIP3.
Well, by the same token, would a physician say like, "Oh, I'm going to give you your vaccine shot"?
Yeah. Yo, you ready for that vax? I don't know. Let's ask Doc. Do you say vax or you say vaccine?
I just say shot.
Shot. That's it. He's the Physicians Advisory Group Chair, Dr. Hoa Nguyen, here for our cluster update this morning, Doc. How are we doing in wading into those big clusters with Subaki, A-Class Lounge, and the infamous symptomatic basketball game?
Yeah, I think we're doing very good. Public health have been out there doing a lot of testing. Yesterday, actually set a testing site at the Subaki Towers, and so far, out of the cluster, we are fair very well. But again, we find out probably the next. We have one more week to go in order to find out if anything come out of it. But the cluster now and the cluster back in August is a lot of difference. The difference is that quite a bit of our people are vaccinated. We don't have a big outbreak like we have back in August. That's a huge difference just because of the vaccination.
What are you hearing from, because it looks like since Friday, I mean, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, since Friday, we've tested like a bunch of people, and the numbers have been low, right?
Yeah, we test a lot. We at the Public Health North and also Sabaki Tower yesterday, we test some at the clinic, and so far, the number is not big. Yesterday, I think we have 0. So we tracked down a lot of people. There's still a few more people to track down, but so far so good. We hospital admissions still at 3. So like I said, it's a huge relief for us. And also, the governor and public health went out there really at the beginning. So we want to do contact tracing and people respond. So it went very well, and hopefully that's how they're supposed to respond in the future when the more cluster coming in.
Doc, so you said it's going very well, but are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the jungle yet?
One more week.
One more week.
And be out of the jungle.
So Pat the Half, we're at 60,000 some. Are we at, is it 60 flat, Jay?
No, it's more, it's past 60,000.
Okay.
Yeah, it's past 60,000 already. We will reach the 50% mark probably today, tomorrow. But by the end of this week, 100% would be reaching 50% or more.
Right, and so we might end up beating the May 1st deadline for Pat the Half.
Yes, we do, and that's partly on the effort of everybody. I think people still come out a whole lot to get the vaccine. So I think that we cannot do that. We cannot reach it without people coming out. So again, thank you so much for everyone for doing that. But hopefully the government will come out and release the new quarantine guidelines. So that way, make it easier for our people to go, in and out of Guam. But with some precaution that we have to still take to make sure that we don't have any variants coming into Guam.
Yeah. So Doc, I mean, that's been the conversation leading up to this Pat the Half. Is we were told like, hey, yeah, quarantine's going to be over for residents, I guess. So what do you think is going to be the quarantine policy? Let's say a couple weeks from now. Because it's not just you guys aren't going to flip a switch on May 1st, right? And then boom.
I think as May 1st come and reach 50%, we probably wait for the governor to make a final decision. And more likely, we will implement the new guideline. I mean, the final decision going to come out probably by the end of this week sometime to let people know, what the new quarantine guidelines is all about. The physician advisory group have made the recommendation already, and now it's the governor final decision of adapting the whole thing or a part of it or make some change. It's really up to the governor and how comfortable she is to open up our island to a new quarantine guideline.
Well, let me just double back and ask then, Doc, what is going to be the PAG's recommendation to the governor relative to quarantine policy moving forward after we've achieved the path to half?
We recommend to follow up with the CDC guideline on the fully vaccinated people who come in with no test, and that's what we recommended. Regarding certain area in the world that currently have a surge or have a lot of variants, we put some guidelines together to try to make sure that those areas in the world that is make it more safe for people to come into the island and not bring along the virus with the new variants. Mostly we will follow the CDC guideline.
I see. What's it going to mean for when we achieve the path to half? What is it going to mean for the further easing of restrictions?
You're fully vaccinated, Chris. You should be go in and out of Guam with no tests. If you can validate your vaccination status, okay. So I think they have a few more days before May 1st to kind of work out the kinks at the airport, or try to figure it out, and put some plan in place to verify your vaccination status as you come into the island.
What about the easing of restrictions like 50% capacity for bars, 75% capacity for restaurants and retail?
I think she usually released that by Friday, right? I mean, I think there's further release of some restriction to open up more. I think that we're comfortable to go forward with the business and open more. I think that to go back to 100% is going to be a little baby step to get up there. But again, we're going to continue to monitor to make sure that the CAR score will trend downward rather than upward, as we've seen the past few weeks or so. But I feel confident that the CAR score will go down after this cluster.
Doc, after we achieve the path to half, when you guys figure out and implement the quarantine policy, when we ease more restrictions, are we still going to have to wash our hands, wear our masks, and watch our distance?
Yes, I really highly recommend people to do that until we get to reach our herd immunity. That's you're talking about 80% of people vaccinated. Until then, I really highly recommend people to continue to do that and don't let your guard down. Still, the same rule again. If you're sick, skip the event. Let your workplace know. Stay home. Go get tested. And back on the same thing. Been over 1 year already, and sometime we need to have a reminder of people to, hey, if you're sick, just stay home and go get tested. But don't go to work or don't attend event. Continue to wear your mask, wash your hand, and social distancing until we get this herd immunity coming on. And it's not that far if we continue to go with the rate we are right now for the vaccination. We reach here probably by the end of June or July. So again, we're going to figure out a lot of ways to that we have to do differently. Beside the UOG part right now with the guard, to kind of reach out to the rest of people or to many people in Guam to get the vaccine into their arms. So we're gonna try to find different ways to make it more convenient for the people to get the vaccine, because the last 15-20% before you reach 80 is going to be a challenge.
Right. So let me ask then, after we achieve herd immunity, are we still going to have to wear our masks, wash our hands, and watch our distance?
I would. I've been so used already. I mean, the majority of people up to that point, we will wait and get the CDC guideline and see what they do. But a lot of people ease off in the state. A lot of state are dropping the mandatory, face masks in the state, and they seem to be doing okay, with the vaccine on board. So at a certain point, the mandatory face mask will be dropped. But again, a lot of people are so used to wearing them right now for the past year. So I kind of feel kind of weird not wearing them in a crowded place.
Doc, we had a comment here. Can you ask Doc, what about children under 16 receiving the vaccine?
Pfizer have been tested down to 12 years old, and look like they will get the FDA approved and CDC approved on using with children down to 12 years old or younger. So we expect that to be released soon, because I think that the trial and everything else have been done already. So hopefully in the next 2 to 4 weeks or so, that it will be clear to use Pfizer down all the way to 12 years old. So that's what we're looking for. But right now, just 16 and over, you can get Pfizer.
Doc, what about the resumption of the use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine?
Yeah, we're kind of excited to have it coming back. The FDA have been taking a lot of precaution on put a temporary pause to the use of J&J to make sure that they look at every case that happened in the past. But I understand that it has been approved again to resume by both the FDA and CDC. So I'm looking forward for public health to give a green light on the use of J&J again. That's some precaution, especially in women from the age of 18 to 50. They have other options, especially with Moderna and Pfizer rather than J&J. But the complication occur in the women from 18 to 50 with the thrombosis and the blood clots with the low platelet count. Is really very, very, very rare in the male population and the women over 50. So it's safe to use it, but women from 18 to 50, they have an option to use other vaccine rather than J&J.
Are you hearing anything from just patients or the public about any vaccine hesitancy with the Johnson & Johnson vax?
Surprisingly, guys, there's a lot of people still request for J&J. There's still a lot of people still waiting for J&J to come back. So I think that once we have it clear by public health, it probably be offered to own the location, UOG, and own the parts that we do outside. But yeah, there's a lot of people still asking for it. A lot of people won't get the Moderna, Pfizer, and they just want the J&J. So I think by this week, we should be able to implement the J&J vaccine again on the parts again.
All right, Doc. Anything in closing? Did we cover everything? Because Sabrina's not here, and she's always got the questions.
Yes, I mean seriously, you have to know that the cluster from the past 2 weeks and the cluster in August is almost the same, but the rate and positive rate is remarkably different within August and now. I tell you, it's all about the vaccine and how our people react response to the cluster. So I highly encourage everyone to go out there and get the vaccine as soon as possible. Again, the governor make it very clear that she wants to make it more accessible to a lot of people. So you will probably see a lot of outreach in the community to bring the shot out to the community. So again, wash your hand, wear your mask, social distance for now until we can reach the herd immunity for now. And we're looking forward to open our island a lot more once get to 50% and then the 80% mark. And just be safe and respect each other. That's all we ask for. Okay?
Got it. Thank you, Doc. And then
You're
wait,
welcome.
today I noticed because I drove by yesterday, you guys had your mobile testing van outside. Are you doing testing today at the clinic?
Yes, we're still testing people that have the exposure to the Sabaki Towers, the A Lounge basketball game. So we still, try to test people that want to come by. It doesn't cost them anything. It's just the same thing as a public health. And we try to do throughout this week. Like I said, we have one more week left. So we continue to do the testing for the people that have close contact. And so hopefully, so far, we all have negatives, so it's good.
Right on. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Have a good day, guys.
You
Be
too.
safe.
Appreciate it. There you go, Dr. Hoa Nguyen. Very real possibility that the next time we talk to him, we will have reached the unicorn, the path to half. Then the other unicorn is a herd immunity, but that's a story for another time. Because what everyone says is like we're path to half, easy money, right? Everyone just wants to get vaccinated. But after that, to get to 80%, that's where you're probably gonna. I don't know though, man.